Welcome back to the lunch table, food for thought. I'm Nico Blitz. Hit that subscribe button at the bottom left-hand corner, man.
Hit it.
And you know where to find us, all audio platforms. My next guest, he kind of needs no introduction.
I don't know about
bro,
that,
I don't
man.
know.
I definitely need a fucking introduction, man. I need an introduction.
Let me build the story really quick. So I'm DJing at my residency on a random Wednesday night, and I just see this white kid come up to me, and it wasn't Miles Parrish because I actually met him the exact same way.
Am I white?
But I'm kicking like some old school hip hop, probably in the '90s era.
Yeah,
Then this kid comes up to me, he's like, "Bro, like your shit is tight. Like I want to follow you." I'm like, "All right, cool." Followed him back. Come to find out, he is an extremely hippity hop, hip hop anonymous.
I'm doing all right.
You know what I mean?
I'm trying.
Rapping, pterodactyl,
Dude,
all
to be
that
honest,
type of stuff.
I'm antisocial, bro. So like, my girl even brings it back up to me. She's like, "I can't believe you went to talk to somebody." Like, it's just the music. Literally, like, I probably was a little drunk too.
Yeah.
But like the music, generally, like when certain records, like I'll give it one, I'll be like, okay, it's a fluke. And when
Yeah.
you play another one, I'm like, okay, well, let's hear the next one. But when you play 3 in a row, when that nostalgia, when it hits the fields, bro, I'm like, I gotta go shake this motherfucker's hand, whoever it is, man. You know what I mean? So I don't remember what it was, but I was feeling it, bro.
The music just hit you the right
100%.
way.
It was like that late 90s, early 2000s shit. I don't remember what it was, but that's that hits me in the feels.
Well, anyways, my next guest,
Yeah,
Hi-Rez.
that's
What's
me.
popping, man?
My dog.
Yo,
Appreciate
it's
the
nice to
invite.
see you because even that moment was probably like maybe 3-4 months ago
Yeah, a
before
few
you
months
moved
ago.
back to Florida.
Correct. It was cool, man. It was cool. I'm glad we connected because not on some like not on some ego shit, but I genuinely don't talk to people, bro. So like, I'm
That's
glad
so
we connected,
crazy.
bro. I'm glad because then now you got me a good little look yesterday, which I'm forever grateful for.
Hey, man, it's
So,
all good.
yeah,
Shout out to
thank you
Real
so much.
92.3. By the way, if you guys haven't checked out that freestyle, he ripped it. It was the first time
So
in
is
which
it out in this present moment?
At this present moment, it is out.
Right now. Gotcha. Okay, sweet.
But you know what's crazy was that being in that room with you, bro, like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the heat because it was like 90 degrees
It
last
was
night,
hot.
but
It was
like
real
it
hot.
was getting hella
Well,
hot in
thank
that
you,
room.
man.
And I was
Thank
like,
you.
yo, like, I knew he was going to come
I
with some
appreciate
bars,
that.
bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate not many people being independent and not people making, when people always will big you up and do shit for you when they got their hands in the pot. You know what I mean? So I it's always great, and it's so rare a relationship like that, where someone just looks out without, a percentage of a person, or, literally me being an independent artist, people don't want to give you a look because they're not eating off you.
Yeah.
So it's like, I appreciate that look, man, for real.
Well, after following you, I started just, backtracking on your
checking out
Instagram
those
and
shit.
whatnot, and I was like, this guy connects with his fans
Thank you,
like
man.
no other
That's
person.
what I
Like
do.
you're sending out like personal messages to
Yeah.
people. You're like
Handwritten.
sending out merch and even
Thank
your
you.
album only for the fans,
Yep.
man. Once I found out that it was produced, mixed, and
Yeah,
mastered
everything.
by a fan,
Literally
even your
everything.
merch, bro,
All
like
different people, bro, too. It's not even like
nuts.
literally like, I mean, even to what we just talked about, bro. Like, not that you on like some groupie shit, but you support me. You know what I mean? You a fan of me, which I appreciate. Thank you so much. But literally, like, you helping me run press. That's like from every angle, bro. I kid you not, bro. Like, but it's literally like fuck with the people that fuck with you type shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, so when I support somebody and it's genuine, I don't expect anything in return, but I know that like when it is genuine and when it is really from the heart and you don't hope for anything, then that shit comes back tenfold. You know what I mean? So
well, that's why I've been in this music industry for about 3 years now, right? And I always hated to flex the fact that I work for a radio station. So when you came up to me, just on some, you're a really
I just wanted
dope
to drink,
DJ,
bro.
you know
I
what
didn't know
like
we
that,
were
that's it. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't about like, oh, like I know what you do, I know where you work type of shit. And it's like that's how I knew it was just like
Well,
a
I appreciate that,
you know what I
man.
mean?
Thank
And
you so much. Yeah,
I
that's love,
appreciate
bro.
your
That's
energy and the love, bro. And we could go on and on about the love, bro. And I love it so much. But
Let's
thank
chat,
you just
man.
for being like a genuine ass person.
Absolutely. We were saying it yesterday, man. I love just people that love hip hop too. You know what I mean? Like where you could tell if they love it or not. Like you could tell, you could sniff that shit. If you've been doing it for a minute, or you really are on that side where you feel that shit and you're like you want success, you want hip hop, you want more than your next breath. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you could sniff out those people that don't feel the same way. You know what I mean? It's true.
Well, what's crazy is that whenever I am spinning, right, and I kick some old shit, like
Yeah.
I usually get like 1 or 2 heads that are just like,
I always wonder
What you know about
do
this?
Okay, like what do you do when you DJ? Because I see the people that got Serato face that never look up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I notice, that what you doing normally, you peep in the crowd, but I didn't peep what
You
you were doing.
have to.
So you have to, right?
You
gotta.
have to, bro.
That's what's up, man. That's
you
what's
have
up.
to. I mean, I feel like being part of a DJ, not only being able to like mix records correctly, but like if you're able to, survey the crowd and understand like what they want.
Fast too.
You know what I mean? Like that's what it's all about. And I feel like in this day and age, like you have to pay more attention to that, because I could tell anybody like any day, like DJing is easy, but learning who you're catering to is the most difficult
learning your
thing.
audience and accepting your audience and being cool with your audience. Someone told me I don't remember who it was, but they said you can't. Are we cool to just chat back and forth?
Yeah,
okay,
of course.
Cool. Someone told me it's like you can't pick and it's with clothing, with anything, with Walmart, Amazon, like you can't pick and choose your demographic. Like when I was 16, 17, and I had, you know, a bunch of these specific, like, I don't even know, I couldn't even tell you what it was, but it was a very niche audience, you know what I mean? It was a very niche audience, and me being me, I'm like, nah, I need the rugged, hip-hop, hardcore, blah, blah, I need that, whatever, and then I got to an age where I'm like, you know, I got comfortable, only in the last 2 or 3 years, I got a lot more comfortable with myself, my personal life, everything behind the scenes, my sound, conversations.
Wow.
So to the point where it's like, I used to make fun, like, so a line that I would always go back to when I was in that mindset of, I need a fan base like this. I used to say, Cannabis and LL Cool J, they had a big beef, obviously, way back. And he said, 99% of your fans wear high heels. And like that, like as if that was a shit.
Yeah, as if that's a bad thing.
Back then, I guess that was a bad thing. But it's like LL Cool J is the OG. Like LL Cool J is the first ladies' man when it comes to at least my knowledge of hip hop. Like that's LL Cool J was the smoothest talker ever.
Yeah.
So fast forward, you know, I did the same shit. I was 16, like talking to certain people that I was fake beefing with at 16, 17. Man, all your fans wear high heels and whatever. Like, I'm just spinning back what I heard. Fast forward to now though, man, like I have 13-year-old kids coming up to me saying, you're the Uber guy. And I have 35-year-old people with kids saying, yo, I respect your records. Like, so it's like I got to the point now where I don't care if somebody knows me for skits or pranks or music, or people call me a YouTuber. I love it, man. I've been doing YouTube for 10 years.
Yeah.
They call me a Spotify, bet Spotify pays. Like, I'm wherever you want to call me, I'm embracing, I'm wearing that shit. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and in this day and age too, it's important to get any type of reach, bro.
100%.
But I think what I respect about you the most is the fact that you've been doing it for like a decade, maybe even a little bit longer.
This is like the official, as far as like shows and videos and recording, it's like I'm talking about like making maybe my first dollar. It's a decade now. Like I've been writing for a minute, but
you know what I'll tell you? It wasn't until yesterday where you know, your girl had mentioned, you know, like some people may know Rez for being the McDonald's rap, and I was just like, McDonald's rap. Really? So literally this morning I woke up and I was like, let me see what McDonald's rap
people
like, she
always
was talking about.
Oh, it's that one,
bro. So then as soon as like I saw the thumbnail, I was like, this is that kid.
500 million views collectively. Like Facebook 300 million, fucking YouTube 80 million. And I did a commercial with McDonald's. That was my first check I ever got. That was like one from my dad where it was like, okay, so I see that you can make some money off this shit. You know what I mean? Not even on some like, it wasn't the money that was driving it, but that was always, it's always cool. It's always validating to see somebody you care about and knows you since the beginning of time. Yeah. To be like, okay, you got my stamp, you got my approval.
So was the McDonald's rap like, I guess the stamp of approval, or like
so the commercial
point?
was, so the McDonald's rap, I did that like just on the fly. Like I was driving up to New York, this YouTube kid called me and he said, yo, let's do whatever. And this is 5 years ago. My bad.
No, you good.
And I literally was just writing it while driving up to New York from Virginia or DC or something. And you know, I practiced for a day or two. We go into a couple, like, you know, one of them called the police on me. It was like it's New York. It was funny, man. But like then we got to the one where it was the one, and it went viral. And you know, obviously it was crazy. It started bringing in numbers, and me being a dummy, like at 19 or 20. I'm starting to vacation. I didn't do shit. I didn't drop nothing, bro.
I bought my chain.
Literally, bro. Honestly, that was the first time in my life where I literally, like, obviously I didn't change who I was, but like somewhere deep down, you know, I literally, like you said, like, bro, I bought like dumbass expensive shoes. I literally started buying a couple of things of jewelry. I was in the Bahamas. I'd never been to the Bahamas. I'm doing all this shit as if like, you know how
like
fast.
You made it.
As if I made it, and I learned my lesson a little bit later, where it's like, I literally dropped nothing, bro. I had literally, I kid you not, this is one of the top 25 most viral Facebook videos of all time. Still is. Like, this is like,
wow.
Yeah, like I've been like, this broke a lot of records in certain places, but for me personally, like I didn't drop anything. Like I literally didn't do. I had everyone in the world, or a big fraction of the world, just paying attention, tapped in, and I did nothing. And not even like because of the fear of failing. I just was like, yo, they're going to be around forever. Like,
yeah, you just didn't.
I didn't know how viral shit worked.
You just didn't really know what you were like.
I had no
really
idea how
doing.
viral shit worked at all. So it's like, for that, you know, I mean, fast forward now, I'm catching viral waves here and I'm putting out direct. I found a balance of being able to float in and out of the internet and
well, nowadays we kind of see the method of the internet where once you get something that's hot, you just tend to capitalize on it like immediately afterwards. Like kind of like how earlier this January, Soulja Boy said he was like the hottest rapper in the world, right? And then you know what I mean? Then he drops like a video game console, then he drops like, I don't know, like even more music.
Yep.
I mean, granted, it didn't.
I didn't look into it, but one thing I know, man, is Soulja Boy was the first rapper to ever be viral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? MySpace, and you mind if I write back just 10 seconds?
No, it's all good.
You able to cut this or what? Or
no, we're going to keep it rolling, man.
Okay, cool. 10 seconds.
You know, Rez is a busy man.
I'm here on camera. Sorry. Everything's cool. Right.
Just on a side note, too, Rez actually flew out from Florida to over here in Los Angeles just so that he can go to a wedding in San Diego today. Yeah. And he's actually flying back
tomorrow, the next day, back to Florida,
God.
But from San Diego. I don't know, dude.
You're crazy.
Honestly, I didn't come here for any sort of, like, that's why I'm saying how grateful I am, because it wasn't on the schedule. Do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't even planned. But I also like that because, like, there was no room for, like, thinking about shit or talking, like it's natural. How we
just gotta say yes.
It's simple. It's simple. Like even the raps and connecting and this, it was like I wasn't able to. Not that I ever do it, but people around you always, don't say this or say this and rehearse this and do that, and it's like, I'm good. This is what I do.
That's why when you came in, like I was thinking, like I'm pretty sure he can kill this freestyle. However, like I'm not sure because it's like on such a quick time frame.
Well, I appreciate you thinking, considering it enough. Like, I think, like, I was literally talking to my girl yesterday. I was like, aside from, like, the look and just, you looking out, it means a lot that you believe that I could spit enough for you to be, like, to vouch for me. You know what I mean? Bill Bet is my dude. He could spit. I never heard him spit live, but I trust that he could spit live. So it's like, what if I just showed up and I was like,
just hella weak? I'd be like, oh, my God, they're not going to trust me with bringing anybody, bro.
What were we saying? Oh, the viral shit. I don't remember what we were saying, but
well, I guess like what you learn like over the years is that not necessarily to be a yes man, but you have to say yes.
If something pops up in your face, bro, like even when it comes to like the pranks or any like that I do or skits or shows, like assuming it's not out of my character and it's not like I don't have to change much of myself to live in that situation, then I'll always do it. Do you know what I mean? Like not for money aside. Like if it's money extra, that's cool. But if it's fun first and foremost, and it's a good look to me, my fans, and the people that I trust and I value their opinions of, then I'm always gonna take. You know what I mean? I'm always gonna run towards that. So
yeah, and it's crazy. How old are you again?
I just turned 25. I had to think. Yeah, 25.
Oh, yeah. I'm 26, bro.
Okay, word.
And it's crazy when we think about, let's say, 10 years ago. Like the idea of having things just like run fast and just like saying yes to like damn near whatever comes. It didn't really exist. And the reason why I bring that up is because you have this record Back in Time, and you talk about how you wish you knew now what
I know.
Back then.
Facts. Yep, it's true. I mean, that's literally like I feel like. Not everyone, but most insightful people that are like, humbled to a degree and like relate on a level where we could just chat. I feel like most people have that feeling. Like I wish I could go, but not to the point, at least in my opinion, not to the point where I regret it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it's always that back of your head thought where it's like, I learned all these things right now. Like I told you, from the McDonald's to relationships to friendships to business to contracts to lawyer. Like bro, I've been fucked sideways in every way in this industry in a decade. But like, we talked about it yesterday, like when you love this shit, it doesn't matter how much money gets stolen from you or how many times you get dicked around or like how many friends you lose or how many family members you, like it's literally like if it's all you know, like it's all I know is every day I wake up and live and breathe, not necessarily hip hop, but just like just my thoughts and ideas and concepts and anything like anything that's running through my brain, I write down or I try to, you know what I mean? Like I really live this shit, bro. Like I'm writing a TV series that I'm trying to pitch to people. Like I'm doing a bunch of like on that real LA shit. And I don't live here anymore. But it's like I'm not sitting like cross-legged in a coffee shop. You know what I mean? Right. I'm not on that shit. But I really am at home. Just writing everything down. Like if I think of a funny scenario, I just write it down. Like just like a really awkward situation, I'll write it down.
I want to talk about this TV series, man. Yeah. What do you have going through your head about this TV series?
I just talked to someone recently. So bro. Go back to what I said a second ago, the amount of people that have dicked me around and screwed me over, I really don't want to say the concept to it because I've had so much shit stolen. I've had production stolen from me. It's like, not that I'm like on some easy lick shit, you know what I mean? But it just really, there's a lot of people that are not talented at what they do, and that's all they wake up every day looking for.
Well,
a scam.
I mean, if somebody watches at least 15 minutes of this and you spilled it, then they would know.
Bro, and to keep it 100, like for a while, I would talk to people close to me who now suggest that I don't speak on things like not even like I'm better than this situation to talk on it. It's more like there really are people watching small situations that I've done or stories, and then somehow the same something just pops up somewhere.
Well, in a sense, you kind of got to protect your creativity.
That's really all it is. It's your energy, bro.
Yeah, until you're ready to
like
put it out to the world.
100%. Where I know it's like, because this is literally, I'm just like, I would tell you if shit was done and I'm ready to pitch it right now, if I was promoting it, but I'm throwing paint at a canvas right now. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing, but Point being, have you ever seen? It's more the style of like, not The Office in the sense of how it's shot, but that awkwardness. Obviously you just, bro. That's my humor, bro. I love dark comedy. I love awkward comedy. I love making people feel uncomfortable. Like, but people don't know that about me, so I can't do I couldn't do that yesterday, Abu. Like, I can't make people feel weird. Like, they don't know.
When we're at the radio station, bro, it's a whole bunch of dick jokes.
Trust me, I'm sure. And that's somewhere in the back of my head, whereas I always know. I wake up every day and I love it because a year ago, 2, 3, 4 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to be myself as much as I am now. I used to talk with an accent for no reason, just to like flex. Everybody 16, 17, they walk around like this. You know what I mean? So their ego, everything's inflated. But yeah, man, I don't know what we're talking about, but yeah.
I could kind of see how you enjoy the creating an awkward situation,
100%.
Because watching your Uber videos, right, like. Just to be in like a car and then for your driver to be like, oh, like I spit some dope ass bars for you.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, at least me personally, I'd be like, yeah, go spit. But then to the regular person, it's just like,
the amount of stuff that like it doesn't make the cut for like any of my pranks, bro, is because people always, this is staged and this is forced, and it's like obviously I tell these people, hey, I'm gonna rap for you, but you have no idea what I'm gonna say once they get in the whip.
Yeah.
You know how this shit goes. You need to get people to sign their approval. You know what I mean? You can't just put out a 15 million view video with a girl that you have no idea. You know what I mean? Like, these are real passengers.
Oh.
But my point is, after the shit's done, do you want to be on camera? We need you to sign this shit. That's how real. What's the word? Like, when you sign like a waiver. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Like a waiver.
So then, how many of those did you have to go through just to get to the 2 that are up?
Yeah. So it's usually 2 or 3 people in the car, or 1 person sometimes. I retired that shit, by the way. For the record.
For
totally
sure.
retired, just because I don't know. I see it tanking. Like, not my own thing. I just see people ruining that. Like SEO.
You ended on a really good note.
I killed it.
You know I
killed it up here, man.
The guy's still waiting for his high five.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's you go through a few, and most of the time people are pretty cool with it, and it's like if people don't want to be bothered, you just drop them off of their shit.
Yeah, it's like whatever.
If you're like, yo, you want to hear a rap? Like, bet. Are you cool to be on camera? We cut that shit out. Mm-hmm. Okay, bet. That's it. I'm not like, pull out your phones and video me and let's beef it up. I've never been that guy
There's
to
a
like.
Camera here.
I've never been that guy that wilds out. Like, obviously, for my own safety, we need paperwork afterwards so they don't sue me. And I like to give them a heads up right when they get in. Hey, I'm filming, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So, but other than that, man, it's not like Jersey, you know what I mean? It's which I love Jersey Shore, but they re-brought that shit back, man.
Yeah, they did, man.
I love that shit.
Only reason why I know is because my girl told me about it, and she's in love with that type of shit, and I'm just like, well, you can watch that.
Hey, man, it started with the same thing. He's like, oh, it's back. Let's watch it, whatever. Actually, I might have put my girl onto this shit. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Other way around, my girl put me onto the Kardashians. Any guy I talk to, right? Like, I'm talking about my brother.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of, like, athlete homies. I'm talking about everybody from my desk job homies to my professional athlete homies and my brother, anybody. And I'll just be saying something that like something Kardashian related in a good way. I love the Kardashians, Kanye, all these people. I'm always bigging up these people. And I'll say something that you would have to know to see the show, and then they'll be like, oh yeah. Well, I don't watch it. I'm just in the kitchen when my girls got it on, and they start deflecting. They're like, I'm cooking and it's on, and it happens to be on, and I'm like, yo, you like this right there on the couch. I'm like, don't even deny, bro. Every single person, if you in a relationship, that shit's been on somewhere.
Yeah, it's been on at least once or twice,
It's been on, and you tapped into at least a scene or two, and you know something that it's funny.
Yeah,
though.
There's like no such thing as privacy when it comes to having that much fame, bro.
Yeah. Oh, Kardashian fame?
Yeah.
I mean, that's their job. Their job is to put that shit on, bro. Their job is to put that shit out there. I would never want that degree. I pay respects to anybody who's able to live and somehow separate and detach, what we see to what they have behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So respects to them, man.
So how, I'm curious, how are you when you're just walking down the street? Do you got hella groupies just running up to you, just like, oh, Hi-Rez.
Nah. I mean, what's been cool, man. Like, and backtracking on what he said, like the more organic and authentic I've been able to become over the last few years, I'm noticing like I'm able to reap the benefits now where like people come up to me and it's not even in a, I feel like the energy you put out is the energy you get back usually. Yeah. So if I were to be wild online and just saying wild shit and dumb shit and crazy shit, I would be getting, groupies aside. Like, I'd be getting people trying to test you in city. You know what I mean? Like just all that you put out energy, you won't get that back. So I put out such an organic, legitimate, like real energy that when people come up to me, they're like, I don't want to bother you. And I'm like, bother me. Like, let's fucking chat. Let's talk. Let's hang out. Whatever you're trying to do. To the point where it's like, bro, in cities, like, I'm so not used to anybody caring about my music to the degree of purchasing things and buying. It's a real thing, obviously. I exist. Yeah. I do what I do, but I'm so not used to it mentally still. Where it's like if one person comes up to me and I'm on the way somewhere, I'll be like, yo, you wanna get a drink? You wanna get dinner? Yeah. Like we do something called eat and greets, and it's like we in every city we literally like we take like, and it's not even on buy it. It's like. If we walk into each other, you'll just pop into lunch with me and we'll get it some shit.
That's ill,
yeah,
bro.
Man. We try to do it, man. We try to like, and obviously, there's always two sides to it. There's the organic, personal side for your soul, and then we're always gonna capture it on film, just for the sake of like, it's a business, bro. Like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, this is what I do. I would do it with and without cameras, but it's like, why not, reap the benefits business-wise? You know what I mean?
At the same time too, I feel like you are the perfect exemplification of somebody who, like, let's say I'm watching you on one side of the screen, right? Like, oh my God, like Hi-Rez is such this dope ass cat. Like, I wish I could meet him, right? But then I feel like once somebody really gets to meet you in person, you're kind of like that bridge between like, hey, I kind of know who I know who I am. Yeah. But then I'm still a human being.
And I'm still learning who I'm becoming and shit. Yeah. Absolutely. I said some shit. I'm loving who I'm becoming. I don't remember. Something like that. But my girl would literally, again, she kept saying this line for 2 years. When are you gonna use this line? When are you gonna use this line? Loving who I'm becoming. I'm loving who I'm becoming. And fast forward to the album, I'm like, I couldn't. I didn't have any ideas. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I'm loving who I'm becoming. I turned something into nothing. Like, it's just some shit. But that's basically going off that, man. It's like only in the last few years I finally found. Not comforted in who I am because I'm always growing, like we just said. But I found that like structure and that base, layer of like something you could build off of. Like I feel like I know who I want to be to the point where I know where I have to look to get there. I don't, you know what I mean? Like for a long time, I would like the McDonald shit. I was running at a fast pace, and I was running in a I was doing what I was doing, but the direction wasn't. I didn't build. I'm not able to build on what I did because that wasn't the same direction I'm in now.
So then, what triggered that change like 2-3 years ago?
Someone told me it was like this. I didn't go to school, but I got close with my girlfriend's like professors and shit. Just because I would so like side note, they had like a liquor tasting class, which sounds ridiculous to me.
Hey, that sounds lit.
Yeah. So there's a liquor tasting class, a wine tasting class, and a food like literally you cook. So like I would just pop into class, right? Like not even like I have friends at the school too. So I would pop into class. I would go to the liquor tasting. I'm not a student. I would just go sit in. I would get liquor tasting class. Then I would pop over to the wine tasting class, and then I would just be faded by 2-3 o'clock and just eating like whatever the chef's whipping up. I'm just in a college. That's my experience in college.
So
I didn't do no math. I didn't do no science. None of that. I just
drank wine and
I
ate
literally
food.
I was like, this is college. Y'all are lit. Like I should have went to college, but The professor told me something along the lines of like. Men, and she was probably joking, but she was like, men, their brains develop more at 23, 24, and 25. Whereas, like, a lot of the women I've encountered, like friendship-wise, everything, they always, don't get me wrong, there's immature women, men, everything in between. But, like, all my homies I know, they're still wild and out doing wild ass shit. And I'm not saying don't party, don't have sex, don't do none of that.
Yeah.
I'm like that's all good. Do what you do as long as it's in moderation and you,
of course
you say that's with anything, drug, whatever. Just stay safe. But I think in the last couple years, man, it's just like I genuinely feel like I developed. Like whether it's a mechanical thing, I don't know, man. I just feel different, man. Like it wasn't a day I woke up. I genuinely feel like this shit got rewired in my brain to the point where it's like. I'm ready to like be a normal ass human, and live an extravagant life as my dream, wherever music takes me. Yeah. Because for a long ass time, and it still is, everyone has that balancing act issue. But literally, that if you listen to any of my old music from 16 to 21, 22, 23, it was constantly like. Just every single word or every line goes back to how am I going to balance this? How am I going to balance this? How am I going to balance family, friends, relationships, groupies, sex, drugs, rock and roll, everything. Like, how am I gonna do this? Fast forward, man. I mean, whether it's cold turkey things or other, I don't know what it is, but I'm genuinely like happier than I've been in a long time, in years and years and years. Even knowing that it's like I have those days where it's like, damn, everything sucks, but I'm okay with those days. Yeah. Whereas back in the day when I was 19, 20.
It's a little bit more depressing.
You don't realize that like you're able to have a shitty ass day, a week, month, even a year.
Yeah.
And like I'm literally, I tell myself, bro, like I'll have a month or 2 or 3 months where I'm still and I'm calm and shit is cool and collected and just regular. And the 3, 4, 5 months where it's like I'm on edge, I'm anxious, I'm never sad or upset or depressed, bro. I'm just very hype. You know what I'm talking about? And it's like figuring ways to get that. But as a grown ass man now, I've been figuring out that it's cool to have a quarter, and by quarter I mean 3 months, a quarter of bullshit and then a quarter of happiness, a quarter of stillness. You know what I mean?
Well, to be honest, it's like, do you like roller coasters?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Facts. You know what I mean? Like, if you really just went on a roller coaster that was just like straight, it'd be kind of boring.
But which is most of my homies, man. Which is most of my homies' lives, and I respect people. We need doctors and teachers and lawyers and we need all that.
We need everybody, bro.
We need everybody for a society that works and lives and breathes and functions. But me, I would never be able to be on that roller coaster that's straight. I need that shit because when I'm up here, I appreciate here. And when I'm here, I appreciate here. Not to the degree where I'm like always wishing I could be at the other one in the moment, but I'm learning to appreciate the other when I'm in
and you kind of fall in love with the instability that comes.
Isn't that
with
weird?
It. You know what I mean?
Isn't that strange?
Because it's like, I'm from the Bay Area and I talk to my homies a lot. Like, I actually just talked to one of my best friends the other day and he was like, yeah, I wish you could come through like this coming weekend. I'm like, why? Oh, it's so-and-so's birthday. We're going to be drinking, da-da-da. I'm just
the normal standard shit.
Yeah, like the normal standard shit, which, I was like so in love with a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And, it's my homies. But like, I look back at it now and I think I can't find myself in those situations anymore because with instability comes a lot of adrenaline for like, I need to get where I need to get. And like leaving room for like distractions on the side, like it's just not like something that's can function with me anymore.
And for me, going off that, I have my like programmed like whatever, what do you say, what is to the side, distractions. I have like my programmed distractions to the point where it's like, so you know what I mean? Like I'm not going out partying and drinking and doing this. It's almost like healthy. Like I'm really on the LA shit, like on that yoga. Like I try to do anything. I don't be eating meat. I don't really be eating meat, man. I eat fish and I be doing what I do, but I really like. I don't know, man. It's not even for the sake of like when people are like, bro, you can kill twice as many cows. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like in this instance, just to explain this scenario, it's not don't kill twice as many cows. But it's like just to explain the scenario is like I don't not eat meat, because of that. I do it as a sense, and it's not even, I don't even think it's a health thing. I think it's one of those things where it's self-control. Do you know what I mean? Like I cling on to these things to see if I have enough self-awareness and self-control. I think that's what it's become actually. Going back now, I feel like I'm in therapy now.
Yeah, no, I see.
Because in the last 2 years, so in the last 2.5 years, 3 years, I stopped eating meat, but I don't feel like I stopped eating meat to feel better. I did it to see if I could.
Oh, so you actually?
I don't eat meat.
I pulled that vegan thing out of my ass.
I'm not vegan. I'm pescatarian. I eat eggs, cheese. I basically eat, bro. I love Beyond Beat. Whoever that dude is, whoever did the Beyond Burger, that shit is banging, bro. That shit is wild, bro. Like, but yeah, bro. I'm glad I said that out loud, man, because I be going to therapy every so often to talk, but I don't think I ever said that. I think why I changed, I think genuinely though, my whatever, the maturity, whatever you want to call it, that change in my life genuinely probably came from seeing if I was able to cut things out and add things and just have some. I think I forced the structure in my life that was somewhat of a very innocent but healthy structure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like obviously, like I still drink and I still smoke and I do what I do every so often. But it's like beyond that, man. I think I wanted to see if I was able to implement things into my life that, I ate meat for 20 plus years and I'm like, let me just see if I can cut this shit out. Like I think that goes back to that where it's like. Now because I cut meat out, I'm ready to settle down and have kids. Maybe not to that degree, but you know what I mean. Like I think it built a good foundation for me. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck we talking about meat.
Hold on for one.
Oh, you good, bro? You good? Do your thing, dog.
And I get you because I get you to the fact because I still eat meat, right? But then there was one portion in my life a couple months ago where I was on keto diet.
Okay, yeah. And that's all I mean. It's just a structure.
Yeah. And it wasn't necessarily to, like initially it was, let me just lower down my stomach.
Yeah.
But then it got to the point where like I felt everything was just so structured and everything was just so in control that I felt like I could control other aspects of my life as well.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And then I ended up going through a month where I was just getting like interview after interview after interview.
Bro,
and I'm just
I'm
like, bro,
telling
like,
you,
you know,
man.
and things just started working because
That's life, bro.
like, I'll tell you this, bro, like, I didn't start using my calendar and scheduling people up until 4 or 5 months ago.
But you spoke that shit is real as fuck, bro.
Yeah, bro.
When you got whiteboards
bro,
and you're
like,
doing
if I show you my shit right now,
vision
like,
boards and calendars, bro, like when you start taking yourself more serious,
I'm
people will
telling
take
you.
you more serious, bro.
I'm telling you,
Oh,
like, you know what I mean?
Hi-Rez,
Like,
my
it's
boy
like
Hi-Rez.
super stacked,
All
bro.
right.
And
Self-provoked. He's dope. That's a rapper, right?
Yeah, shout
I
out
like
to
him. I
Self-Provoked,
like.
man. He's coming up.
I haven't talked to him in a long time, but we chatted a while ago when I was first coming up, and he was first coming up when we were way younger. He's from the Bay or somewhere, right? He's from
no, he's from, bro. He's like up the street.
He's from out here,
He's
yeah.
close.
He's super West Coast though. I remember seeing that shit when regions were regions before the lines kind of blurred. You know what I mean? And he was one of the like not the first dudes because obviously I grew up on Cypress Hill and
Of
you know what I
course.
mean, shit like that. But he was one of the guys where I saw like, oh shit, this is he's doing what I'm doing, but over here.
Yeah.
Like this was years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, but it was like. Yeah, I like his style, I like his vibe. I haven't tapped in with a minute.
What do you think about the landscape of hip hop right now because everything is so blurred out? Because even me being from the Bay Area, everything was just so like 808 heavy, high snare, high kick, and now you hear that sound like everywhere. Like Shorty has this record called Betua, and it's like, bro, like if I was just some kid. Like way back then, I could have sworn you were from the Bay.
Bro, well, we had areas, bro, like Slim Thug with Texas and Paul Wall and you know that whole Swisher House shit. Like that was Texas.
Mike Jones was my favorite rapper.
I have a record with Mike Jones actually, which was crazy.
Word.
So I was on YouTube. So check this out. This was like my dream, bro. So like I grew up on Mike Jones. Obviously, so did you. Back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot. Everyone knows that line. So fast forward, man, you know, that was when I was 19, 20. I was doing more of I didn't know what I was. I didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
I was doing, you know, drug rap. I was tapping more into the Zan, you know, before, you know, I started doing, if you look back on this shit, you know, I was just really kind of lost and doing a lot of weird shit and saying a lot of weird shit. But I made a record with Mike Jones and I threw a house party at my house when I lived in Orlando. It was like a 2-story house. It was me and like 5 or 6 roommates. And we literally invited like 200 people. So it was like me, my roommates, like 200 people in the house. And then Mike Jones shows up to shoot the music video. So it's literally just like 200, it's like some shit out of a movie. So it's like 200 people, me, Mike Jones, and cameras. And we had big bags. It was crazy, dude. Like, it was wild. So I ended up taking the shit down because I did the shit with McDonald's. McDonald's reaches out, yo, we want to shoot a commercial. And I'm like, oh my God, I got shit with Pornhub. I got shit I got bags of weed and shit. I'm like, let me private a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to get this check real quick in the moment. Okay. And that was also a turning point for me to the point where if I was 16 or 17, I'd be like, I'm not taking your money, I'm me. But I'm like, wait, I'm going to lose out on money because I'm holding up big bags of weed and hanging around Pornhub. I'm like, let me collect this check and put some shit on private real quick because that does not define me. In general, I wasn't even me when I created a lot of those records. But yeah, that was the record, man.
I will say this: you probably were you, but just like a younger version of you at that time, trying
a little
to
less
figure
developed.
out. Yeah,
and I had to do that, bro. I had to do that to be able to like wherever I am. I'm not that dude where I'm like, yo, I'm tapped in so consciously with the high, you know. I'm not on that, bro. I'm right here, you know, wherever here is. It might be higher than, you know, some of my homies with conscious, whatever it is. But I'm you know, without that bullshit that I went through and the people I was around and just, you know, kind of trying out, you know, people, places, and things, you know, when I was younger, I wouldn't have been able to, like we just talked about, be able to separate, you know, certain things that I literally dreamt of separating as a kid. Like,
well, honestly, I think it's the fact that you have a decade span worth of experience because, you know, nowadays we see like 16, 17-year-olds popping off like within like a year of time.
Scares me.
And, you know, like it might be cool to like the naked eye, but it's like, can you imagine, right?
Yep.
You being in hip hop for 10 years, going through all that bullshit within like just 1 year span?
No, dude. I mean, like even on a small scale, when I like the first time I had 1 million views, I was 16. I had no money in my bank account still. I lived at home with my parents, but like I thought I was on top of like my ego was through the roof, bro. Like I thought that this was it. Like I wouldn't even make $1. But like my point is like I couldn't imagine if somebody were to hand me $1 million with that attitude. Like I would have died, bro. I wouldn't be alive. I wouldn't be alive right now. Realistically, that's why, you know, I pay my respects to guys like Lil Peep, XXX, you know what I mean? Whether it's, you know, something that you bring upon yourself or somebody brings it upon you, it's like, you know, I know that with a few more years of just maturing and learning, none of those things would have happened. You know what I mean? Like, and because that would have happened to me. You know what I mean? R.I.P. Mac, man. He's a little bit older, but still, it's like it's not necessarily an age thing. It's more just an experience thing, or people around you, or just developing, or anything, just as a human. You know what I mean? So rest in peace to all those guys, man. Mac always showed love the couple times I went around him, man. I never met Peep. X is from South Florida though, bro. But like I always, it's sad, man. I'm able to explain the shit to like my family or conventional people when somebody dies from the community. When you really are in the community, when you feel it though, you know, like we said, when you really love the shit again, it hits close to home for me on one level of like, damn, that's sad, and on another level, it's like, yo, that could have been me, and that could be me. You know what I mean? Like we're always, especially me. I don't know about you. I don't know about people. I don't know if it's conventional, non-conventional, my life, my industry, but I always feel like and I talk to that with my therapist too. I always feel like I'm that one thing away where it's like I'm not into pills. I'm not into any of that, but it's always that fear where it's like, what if, like that one teetering moment in your life. And that's why I connect with it's sad, but I connect with dead artists. Like it's fucked. Wow. It's kind of fucked. You know what I mean? I think about it all the time where it's like, that could be me, that could have been me, that could be me. You know what I mean? But that keeps me grounded. And I think a lot of these people that it happens to, you know, they're never rationalized. They're never having rational conversations with themselves about like my girl and people around me. I have addicts in my family. She had addicts in her family. So when I talk to these people, they say something along the lines of like, they never had that conversation with themselves of like, this could become a problem or this is an issue. Do you know what I mean? So I'm grateful that I have that knowledge of like, anything I do can become an issue. Do you know what I mean? Rather than, does that make sense?
Well, you also understand, like,
with this lifestyle.
You also gain like a greater appreciation for life and how short it can actually be.
Major facts,
bro. X was like not even in his mid-20s yet.
So X died from gun violence, and my cousin died in a school shooting in the same town from gun violence from a school I went to. All within the same town, bro. All within the same time. And it's like, you know, we lose Mac, who, you know, I wasn't best friends with, but it was one of those things that once again, we've connected in person and we've had conversations. And X being from my hometown too, within, you know, and X was my cousin's favorite artist. So it's like X and my cousin lost their lives from a weapon within the same 10 miles, within the same 10 months. All while that shit, like, I'm getting chills thinking about it because I think that matured me too, bro. Like all this shit that's been going on, I think just seeing how, like you said, how precious life is from a standpoint of people I'm fans of to people I'm family with. So that's like, crazy, man, crazy. It feels good to talk about it, man. I'm glad we could talk about it.
And I'm happy that you're sharing all this, 100%, bro. Because, you know, I had one of my best friends had died, you know, just on like some very weird shit like a couple years ago. And I remember being at work. As soon as I got the news from just like one of my other homies, I locked all the doors, bro. I was like, man, I'm not fucking with any of these customers right now. And it hit so close to me. And it's kind of like an unfortunate thing where it's only until we witness death to which we gain like a better appreciation for life. And, you know, I was actually just talking to my homie last night and he was like, you know, like, what do you try to do with this podcast? And I told him, you know, the experiences that I've been through and that all these artists have been through, I want to share those with other people just so that they don't have to go through the same type of shit just to understand.
Yeah, you know, cut skip the steps.
Exactly.
Facts. No, it's facts. It's major truth, man. You said something a second ago. It was like, to appreciate life, you have to, you know, value and like you respect death to a degree. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like that's only true for, once again, going back to someone like you or someone like me or, you know, anyone else around you that has been sat down and humbled or you know what I mean? Like humiliated, like you have some sort of humility, because I still know people that have witnessed death, seen death, been around it, you know, themselves, been damn near close to it, and they still don't value it to the point where it's like, oh shit, like I've never had a near-death experience in my life, but I've been around enough people that are close to me to have, you know, have PTSD, to witness that shit secondhand.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, if secondhand shit could, if I could value it and appreciate shit from that, it's always so sad to me when people close to me, you know, siblings, brother, cousins, anybody, you know, friends, family, fans, it's just like, you know, been through some bullshit and it didn't humble them. You know what I mean? That always upsets me a bit.
Well, what I appreciate about you is that you keep awareness for these topics, because even if you go on like your Twitter page, right, you know, it's pinned to that record that you made regarding your cousin. It's gonna be pinned
there for a long time.
Yeah.
It's not even attached to my new project, and my new you know how everyone, they run press on their project, and that's the shit they doing, and they moving on to the new records. And me and my girl and my people around me, we're talking, the new album's out, because at the end of the YouTube videos, we think about everything, bro, because it's literally independent. So it's like, where are you leading the YouTube video to the next YouTube video? You know how this shit goes. Like, which one are you putting it to? And literally every single video goes back to that one. And it's not even for the sake of like, that's a big one, or the views, or like at the end of the day, bro, like money's going towards my cousin.
But the
and his
message
family,
is
bro.
important.
Like, the messages is so important to me, and it's beyond. If you listen to the record, if anyone listens to the record, it's beyond like, oh, it affected me, because I've seen some comments. It's very little, but it's like, oh, it finally affected the suburbs, or it finally affected a white kid. So blah blah blah. But if you listen to the words, man, I literally say like, I don't care about the lives. I only care about the lives. I don't care about the politics. Every single day, waking up a Holocaust with a hollow tip. Like, I literally like, and that's basically like. It's everything. I say gun violence. I don't say school shootings in it. I don't even say it. I'm talking about just gun violence. I say cops killing people killing cops too. It's easy just to look the other way when it's someone else and not you. Which, like, everyone can relate to that. Whether you have a terrible relationship with a cop or you are a cop. Like, I'm just speaking from what I've seen, bro. I got friends that are cops. I got friends that hate cops. I got a family that died in school shooting. I got homies that have died like in the field type shit. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen it from all angles to the point where I could float like fluidly in and out of any environment I'm in. You know what I mean? You could put me, when I was a kid, I was touring with some thorough people. Like, as a young ass Jewish white suburban kid, I didn't know what I was doing.
Who are you touring with?
I toured back in the day. I toured with Corey Guns and his people when I was young. I'm talking about like, but beyond that, man, like OGs, man. I have Sean Price. OG. I have a record with Sean Price 3 weeks before he passed, bro. I was one of the people. So like, I was a young kid thrown into these situations around like real people, and I'm not saying thorough in the sense of on some like blood, like on some gang shit, but like they you know what I'm talking about? Like real respected OGs in whatever they do. Like Sean Price in Brownsville, like this guy's a god in New York, and now really a god in New York. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. I just learned a lot as a young kid, just staying quiet and being able to work with these people and never asserting myself or never saying in a good way. You know what I mean? No ego. My shit was always in check when I was with the right people. I never said, hey, I'm this and that. You know what I mean? But it was like, I learned a lot from being around. When I was 16 or 17, I was signed to Penalty Records, which was under Sony, and they signed guys like back in the day, like Lord Finesse, Buck Wild, like Digging in the Crates, like literally OGs, Master Ace. I have records with Master Ace, Rugged Man, Sean Price. This is OG, bro. I made no money from these records because it's like, these old heads, they don't know, like they're not on the streaming world. Yeah. And me, I wasn't shit. So it's like, although like all there was a dope record and dudes that were like, yo, Rez could spit. These are old heads. They're in their 40s. So they don't know about the streaming world at the time, at least. You know what I mean? They're just like, bet he's dope. I rock with him. Let's make a record. You know what I mean? But I remember what we were talking about. But I basically learned a lot about just moving in and out of different situations and shit. And back to the record. So that being, I got ADD. I got ADHD.
It's all good, bro. I love it.
Yeah, thank you, man. But yeah, just having gone through so many different things, man. Growing up in the suburbs, being from New York City originally, moving to the burbs. Like I visit a city all it's like I feel like I can move in so many worlds, and that's what my music reflects, man. When I see people that are so radical anything, and I don't even mean politics. When they're just radical here or radical there, I'm just like, y'all are correct, but you're also wrong. You know what I mean? And y'all are correct, but you also wrong. Yeah. But like, people don't see that shit, and when somebody calls them out on that, when anybody's radical in any world, they get mad. When people don't see, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't dive into politics. I'm not even speaking on that at all. Like, that's just not what, I'm not a politician. You know what I mean? But I'm a rationalist, bro. I said it in the shit yesterday. I said I'm not left or right wing. I think rationally. And that's no disrespect to each side, but I just go off of what I see and what I feel and what I hear. I don't go off of I don't go off signs or none of that.
Yeah. You seem like you're the type of person who's like extremely open-minded, and
super,
you're able to see both sides and kind of just come to a very 100%, peaceful conclusion.
100%. If I were to dive into politics and really look into the shit, I would be the type. I'm turning on Fox and I'm turning on CNN and I'm gonna rationalize some sort of in between opinion. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm well aware that both are radical on both sides. If we're talking just for the example.
Yeah.
Like, where it's like, that's who I am, man. I'm gonna turn on this. I'm gonna turn on this. And I'm gonna be like, okay, like, let me see how can I get involved?
Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like, two different people can't be like tripping, right?
100%.
Like there has to be some sort of middle ground
100%,
in which you can find
which
a cohesive
people
agreement.
hate, when people hate when I say to them, there's some sort of middle. No, there's not. I don't agree with him. He doesn't agree with me. I'm like, y'all both like Outback, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't even like blooming onions. They're like lying now. It's like, yo, I don't even like.
How do you let me ask you that? How do you deal with all that backlash that comes at you? Because even just like a couple months ago, like, you were tweeting about like the LGBTQ community and whatnot.
Wild, bro, it was wild the amount of bullshit you get. All right, so check. This has been on my mind for fucking a long time, man. Especially in the last year. So like, it's wild to support somebody who supports something, which is like it's so, bro. We're living
Shit,
in the
doesn't
Matrix
make
right
sense.
now,
Yeah.
bro. We're living in the Matrix now. We're like, so all right. So check this out. So Kanye West, I'm about to throw him. Kanye West
Here we
follows me
go.
on Twitter, man. Kanye West follows me on Twitter. I'm one of his 200 people. I don't know if he checked me out. I don't know if he knows.
Hey, man.
Hey,
Look,
I'm just
that's
blessed.
the headline.
I'm blessed to be in the conversation, man.
Hi-Rez talks Kanye West following him on Twitter.
Honestly, Kanye West has been my favorite artist since 11, bro. It's College Dropout. It's the first album I ever bought, bro. College Dropout. I had the teddy bears. I had, bro, like I had anything I can get my hand. They probably were bootlegs, some like Chinatown.
You got
shit.
the whole jumpsuit too, huh?
I would have been tight, man. Honestly, like I was a Jewish kid in my house saying Jesus walks, and my mom was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like at 10, 11, you know what I mean? What are you doing, Jesse? What are you doing, Jesse? But like that's what Kanye did to me. I'm throwing my hands up like this. I went to a Jewish camp. Jesus walk. Yeah, I'm doing what? But that's how much of an impact.
She must have went bananas once Yeezus came out.
She stopped tapping in, man. My mom and dad, they're almost in their 70s now. They're older. But man, I grew up. Listen, this is my favorite artist. So fast forward, man. Like I literally, I tweeted him, but backtrack, fast forward back. I said to him, I tweeted him. I said, yo, I remember watching you on the Def Jam poetry. You remember the Def Jam poetry shit?
Yeah, he was
like,
actually
Tyler
wasn't
everybody
doing
most
like All
Def.
Falls Down.
I don't remember what the OG. I think it was probably all. Yeah, he probably was
Yeah, I
rapping
think it
that
was All
shit. Couldn't
Falls
even.
Down.
Yep, it probably
Yeah.
was. And I said, yo, I remember you doing that shit with a pink polo and a Louis Vuitton backpack and standing there. And literally, bro, like I see it says, Ye follows you. And I'm sitting there like, and this is right around the time a lot of people, once again, RIP. So I look over at my girl and I'm like, oh my God. And she goes, who died? She thought someone died again. She goes, who died? And I go, oh my God. And then I'm like, Kanye West followed me on Twitter. I'm bugging the fuck out,
That's
bro. I'm like,
crazy,
I'm
bro.
fangirling. I'm bro, I'm bugging out. Like we never had, for the record, bro. Like I'm never the one to flex. Like yo, something in the works. Like if there's nothing in the works, you know how people are. Like this is big bro. You know what I mean?
Oh shit!
I'm out here with big bro.
Hella capping.
But like I'm telling people, yo, I got a Kanye West follow. We have no business right now. Like
Yeah.
I'm cool to just be in the conversation, whether there's a conversation or
That's
not.
ill.
But yeah, man. So what I was saying was,
Back
people
to the association.
Exactly. So people went nuts, and this is when I really learned it. People went nuts on me for supporting Kanye West for his may or may not support for
Donald
It's
Trump,
like, bro,
yeah.
like you realize everything you support will at least be in support of something you don't agree with.
Exactly.
Every single thing. Maybe not the initial thing you can support, because you could avoid that. You could avoid, how people boycott. I'm not buying Amazon because of this, or I'm not. You could do that initial thing, absolutely. But when you start getting into, I can't support this because they support them and that person supports this person. I'm like, bro, you can't leave your house.
Yeah.
You won't be. You can't shop at Walmart because Sam Walton's cousin isn't. I can't make this shit.
100%. Yeah. I get you. I get
but
you.
backtrack to what you said about, I made a simple post like, I don't even remember what it was. I don't want to botch it, but it was like something. Okay. So I lived in Orlando. I live in Orlando, and right around the time of, bro, it's sad. There's been a lot of death, man. It's crazy. But the Pulse nightclub shooting, where I couldn't even tell you how. I couldn't even tell you how many people, and it's sad. I should know the number, but it was something like in the 40s of people that died in a nightclub,
It was
bro.
huge.
Which was nuts. It was like one of the biggest matches. Probably still is. But all that is crazy, man. It just feels like all these things just kept being wherever I was. South Florida, here. First, that's a side topic. But it was the 3-year anniversary of it, and I was at the Orlando Soccer Stadium, which has a huge Orlando thing with all the pride colors. And I just took a picture and posted it with literally paying my respects, because I'm in the city, I'm there, I feel like it's literally, why not? Not even forget likes, forget hashtags, forget all that bullshit. I felt the energy and the need to pay my respects. Do you know what I mean? And I am a figure enough to the point where it's like people say, why are you posting it then? It's like, because I have people looking at me, and
Yeah.
I should set a good example for motherfuckers. You know what I mean? So I made a post literally showing my support, and you wouldn't believe the people that were like, I don't agree with that way of life. And it's like, I don't give a fuck if these are 40 dead humans.
Yes,
40.
exactly.
To be blunt, I don't mean to be like, these are 40 human beings that lost their life. Another one that blew my mind. Someone said, and this was with a negative connotation. They say, why do they gotta be, why you gotta say gay people? Like, why LGBT, why can't they just be people? And it's like, because they died for that.
Yeah.
They died over that. So I think it's pretty important for context to explain why a motherfucker died over that
Exactly.
shit. And when I say motherfucker, I just get passionate.
Yeah.
They're not motherfucker, you know what I mean? But it's like, that's my energy, that's my passion with me. But yeah, man, it blows my mind, the lack of, I don't need people to be in support of what I'm in support of, but if it's something along those lines, we don't need your approval or your and by we, I genuinely mean we. I'm standing up in arms. If I said I love people who love people, so it's simple. Whether that means you're gay, straight, bi, black, Asian, Indian, anything in between, I just love people who love people. So it's like I also hate people who are categorized as a
like
minority.
haters
If you're
or-
a
yeah,
clown,
yeah.
bro, I'm not gonna use it or for you or against you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you a clown, you a clown. If you dope, you dope. Simple to me.
Even just being a clown, bro, it doesn't matter if you're white, black,
That's
Asian,
my point.
Hispanic,
That's what
you
I'm
know
saying,
I mean?
bro.
It doesn't matter if you're gay. Like, if you're just a fucking hater,
If you're a clown or a hater or a fuck boy, then that's what it is, man. But
and, I grew up on E40 so much, and one line that sticks out to me like forever is, "You ain't gotta like me, but you gotta respect me." And I kind of apply that to every single person. You know what? If I find that you are a respectable person, I will definitely respect you. But
Facts.
like, it gets to the point where we just look at people and we immediately categorize them into this box
People
and say,
love to
"Well,
do that.
I don't like you because of what I think you are." You know, it's like the whole It's like
it's weird, man. It's weird, but yeah, I mean, all that like is I took a back seat as far as being vocal on shit. And people always say you should be you and do you, and you're a sellout if you don't speak your mind. But at the end of the day, bro, once again, like if I'm sacrificing my energy and I'm always gonna try to do good, and I'm always gonna try to do my best, and I'm always gonna try to speak my mind and do what I do. But if it comes with a lot of bullshit that's just unnecessary, like, I'll just tell my people behind the scenes then. If y'all, you know what I mean? Like, if the world's not ready to hear everything that motherfuckers got to say, whether it's good, positive, negative, whatever.
But, I think where people like yourself who have, like, a huge platform, like, like socially, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is, like, you actually have the power to trigger a conversation. You know what I mean?
And I try to, man. I try to trigger the conversation, but when I see it getting out of hand where it's like leaning towards one direction.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not like you're not like purposely like trying to like troll a conversation, but it's just like we don't talk about these things enough, and I think that was the problem that happened like 10, 20 years ago, because now we're seeing, and I just want to keep it in context, like we see a lot more people coming out in like the LGBTQ community, and that's because back then it was so taboo. But then over the years, you see slowly like, people, coming out, people saying like what they are and who they are.
Facts.
And to me, it's like we need to continue having these conversations up until like everything is, I guess, just like normal in a sense. Like it's okay to see somebody who was like trans and be like, hey, what's up?
I think that's my new balance, man. Like we always talking about, the balance I found and the balance I overcame. And so my new balance would be, not suppressing my thoughts, but still being able to speak my mind without, because I don't want to offend people. I don't want to hurt people. But I also want to show my support and respect. And this is even beyond, this is anybody, any situation, bro. Like, I just want to be able to be vocal about things I'm passionate about and I believe in.
Yeah.
But when I genuinely, like, see it, when it feels like just the world is not ready for this shit, I'm always going to try. I'm always going to do what I do.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I guess I'm saying, like, bro, I'm doing so much for one man, at least in my power, that it's like I'm always going to try to, I guess I'll pay it forward. Hey, man, I did what I could. I'm passing this energy on to you now. So I hope that, like, that's what I do with my music, I guess, is what I'm saying. So it's like, I'm not going to solve something with a tweet. I'm not going to solve something with a YouTube post or a YouTube. But I feel like, all this shit we're talking about is speaking my thoughts and existence into this music and hoping that it reaches enough people to get that snowball thing, you know what I mean? Get it rolling enough for people to be like, yo, Rez feels this way. Let's keep that shit going. Let's keep talking.
It's like your word isn't necessarily the answer,
exactly,
but you do plant the seed.
And exactly, that's what I mean. I'm well aware that my word's not the answer. It's not the final word. So I want to just say what I say, do what I do, and literally not like pass on like, oh, you handle it. You know what I mean? But more so like let's get an army of people. And once I have that army, which I feel like I'm building, I feel like, I'm gonna be a monster.
Damn near a million people on YouTube.
I'm trying.
Let me just flex for you, bro.
Thank you, man. But once I get those people, man, that the army's behind me, I feel like I'll just, whether that's like an insecurity of mine or not, I feel like I'll have a little bit more comfort to know that I could just really, like, and I'm not just gonna become a different person.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna be like, oh, fuck all y'all, I got you. Like, yo, that wasn't me. You know what I mean? But it's like that, like, I think built, what I built off of and what they learned about me, I'm going to start literally, like we talk, I'm going to get involved more. You know what I mean? And I'm going to just expand on the shit that's already me that I don't have the resources to do right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I'll say it right now. Anyone wants to steal the idea, I don't care, because I want people to do this. Me and my girl came up with the idea called hip hop and haircuts, and I know a bunch of barbers, and we're gonna go to, and I'm still gonna do it. You want us to take the ideas? It's on record right now. Y'all stole it. It's called hip hops and haircuts, and I have fans all over the country that are barbers, dope barbers. I go whenever I go places, I let my fans cut me up. I literally do, only for the fans, bro. Bro, even if they're garbage, I'll be like, yo, don't fuck up. I sit down in the shit. I'm like, yo, I saw that post. I'm like, this cannot happen. So it's like on some real shit, and they always do well because it's pressure. You know, they always do well. But hip hop and haircuts is literally we're gonna go to just certain areas, man, that are just more underprivileged, and you know, I'm close with venues in every major city. We're gonna open up the venue. We're gonna open up the doors, and we just gonna cut hair for a few hours and perform for a few hours. It's simple. That's it.
Bro.
And just bring some food in, man. It's like I know at the end of the day, it's like. In my moment, in my level, I mean, lose a couple racks, but it's like I want to take that to the point where we have sponsorships and it's like obviously I'm not looking to make a killing off the shit, but I'm not looking to kill myself over giving. You know, someone said if you keep giving back, you don't have enough for yourself. You know what I mean? Like I always want to maintain that balance of still enough for me and myself.
But you know. First of all, I love the idea that you're going with. Second of all, when that happens, I'm gonna need my cut.
Yeah, hey, pull up, man.
Kind of like banging right now.
Pull up, man. We need DJs. We need all that shit.
Hey, bro, when the LA one happens, like I'm there for sure.
LA is gonna be the first one, man. We're gonna make that shit happen, or one of the first ones for sure. We're gonna do Orlando. We're gonna do LA, all that. So.
But you know, to my point, man,
Okay, I'm good.
Still good?
Gotta bounce soon, yeah, but I'm good. Cool.
You understand sacrifice, and that's something that not a lot of people can comprehend. Like, especially being in the game for 10+ years, you sacrifice time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
energy, bro. Like
time and energy.
Emotions, literally a lot. Thank you, but sorry.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like and I feel like sacrifice is the number one thing that we all have to get accustomed to in order to get what we want later on in life.
That's facts. You gotta break yourself down. You gotta do all that shit, man. You gotta give. You gotta break yourself down. You gotta fall apart. To build yourself back together. You know what I mean? Like, but it's not everybody learns that shit, man, which is to me when you said earlier, like the 16, 17, 18-year-old kids that are blowing up doing, if I were to tell them or tell anybody else who's a fan of them, if I were like, yo, that's sad, they'd be like, you a hater. I'd be like, nah, you just don't get it, man. That's sad. That's upsetting. It's upsetting to see 17, 18-year-old kids because only 1 in 10, 20, 30, 50,000, a million. Well, only 1 in a million really make it, otherwise you become those Disney stars. You know what I'm talking about? YouTube is the new...
You become a statistic.
We're going to see a lot of these YouTubers in 5-10 years, the ones that are vlogging and doing wilding out in the Hollywood Hills and doing crazy shit. I pray to God. I've been to those parties, bro, and I pray to God a lot of these people survive and live, and we don't see the same shit we seen with a lot of these people. But it's like YouTube is the new Disney how it was, bro. We're going to see a lot of these people in 5-10 years just... not having shit,
and if
bro.
you ever thought that it was like it's on some fake shit, like it's happened over the fucking years, bro. Like I see people who we were watching on Disney Channel when we were like 10, 11. I'm just like, god damn,
crazy, bro.
Like,
you see him out here with the it's a weird world in LA, man, and that's no disrespect to the people who.
Well, that's why you moved back to Florida.
So all right, so let me get this out the way. I respect the shit out of the natives, bro. I respect the shit out of you from the Bay. I respect the shit out of... I got a bunch of homies, from South Central. I got a bunch of homies from the Valley, you know what I mean? Skateboard homies, hood homies, suburban homies. Like, I got hella homies that their roots are here. And they don't give a fuck. Earthquake, drugs, doesn't matter. Whatever it is, this is their lifestyle and this is what it is. But me coming to visit and just work alone, man, I got my job done. I did what I did. I found my structure. But, home is where your family, my family, I'm from Florida, bro. Just like your roots are here, are Oakland.
Are in the Bay.
You know what I mean? My shit out there.
He gave me the Oakland card. San Francisco, let me just clarify that. It's all good, bro.
They're close or not?
It's like 20-minute drive, 30. So that's just over the bridge.
Okay, yeah. People, yeah. So I know girls in Oakland live to say I'm from the Bay, and they're not from the Bay, right? The Bay is the Bay is you.
Yeah.
And people over from Oakland, they like to lie though and be
Oakland's the Bay.
So okay. So what's the cutoff?
The cutoff? I mean, Stockton maybe.
Okay.
But I mean, basically anything that touches the water is legitimately the Bay, and then maybe like 1 or 2 cities.
Is it a thing? So by me in Florida, I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Coral Springs, Parkland, like this South Florida area, and we're like an hour and a half from Miami. So all the girls are like, "I'm from Miami." I'm like, no, you're not. So do people do that? I'm from the Bay when they 45 minutes out.
No, so like,
is that a thing?
I would say like an hour out is like a good, it's like
you
a good
can still
range.
lie and
like
say
if it's like a Sunday at like 3:00 in the morning and you drive an hour out, that's probably the cutoff.
Okay, yeah, guys. So there's
because there's like
there's a gray area.
There's a gray area.
Do you ever?
It also comes down to like lingo and possibly even like the people you know.
That's true.
That
where you from type shit.
Yeah.
Not on some like, where's your grandma live? And
Exactly.
You're not checking people.
I'm not checking people like that, bro. Like you see me, man. Like I didn't grow up that way. I'm just like, where are you from? Let's have some lumpia. Let's get some food at your mom's place.
What is lumpia? What is that?
Oh man, let me just reset these cameras. I'll tell you exactly what lumpia is.
Yeah, do your thing, dog. Do your thing, bro.
So lumpia is basically this Filipino. It's like a Filipino egg roll.
Okay.
whole bunch of pork, so you can't eat it.
Bro, but I would have, man. I'm into any Asian food, man. I never have Filipino food specifically.
Oh, that hurts me, bro.
I know it. I would love to try that, man. I've had Thai food cooked by a Filipino woman. She ripped it, bro. She was married to a Thai dude.
Okay.
And they owned a restaurant together. My girlfriend actually worked there, so I would always go in and get the plug. This was years back. And the guy would always, I would come in when I was signed to Sony back in the day. And this is not racist. I'm going to botch the Asian accent. But he would come in, he'd say, oh, Rez, how is Sony? How is Sony? Whatever. That's all I would hear every single time, bro. But it was dope, man. Can you not do that in 2019? Can you not? Are you not?
It's fine, bro. It's fine.
It's all love, man.
I'm from the Asian community. It's okay.
He gave me the pass.
It's okay.
Hey, look at us.
We're good.
This is that shit. This is the presidency shit. You start shaking him. He shook me. He gave me the pass, man. But yeah, I would come in, man, and she was ripping it with the Phil. I think it was like a Thai Filipino like dial, like the underneath, you know what I'm talking about? Where the shit, what's the shit called? Where it's like below, where it's like a subdivision of it.
Okay.
It was like a fusion of both. You know what I mean? So it was like I had this Filipino. I'm like disrespecting this shit. I had a Filipino pad Thai. People were like, that's just nothing. Like, what are you talking about? It's not real.
That shit probably sounds really good.
Shit was banging
right
though. Shit was banging, bro.
Let's
Shit was
try
banging.
that.
We would put the rice in the pad Thai. I don't know. It was really a lot of carbs, but it was banging. It was banging.
Hey man.
Yeah, it was.
I'm
banging.
down to try that anytime.
I'm skinny. I gotta gain some weight, bro. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Pull up, man. Pull up. I know all the Florida spots, man. I gotta put you onto some dope spots.
For sure, man. Next time I'm out there, I'll take a flight.
What's Sorry. I'm still talking food.
Go ahead.
What's like something that's Florida like? You got Shake Shack out here. They just opened one.
They just opened one, but that Shake Shack's actually from New York.
Yeah, it's East Coast. I'm thinking East Coast shit though, in general.
California, In-N-Out.
In-N-Out's here. They have Five Guys here.
They have Five Guys, but I think Five Guys started like somewhere in like the middle of the United States.
I like Five Guys better than In-N-Out. Is that disrespectful?
No,
I've had In-N-Out
really.
so many times.
In-N-Out is like the top notch of like the McDonald's, like the super
facts.
fast food.
No, and I get that.
Five Guys is kind of like, it's almost fast food, but it's like that one tier above.
Yeah, facts. I love Five Guys. When I was going through the shit, I was, when I was a heavy pothead and all, when I would come visit California, I would literally wake up noon, Five Guys, 5 o'clock, Five Guys, midnight,
Jesus
5 Guys,
Christ.
3 days in a row.
That sounds like my diet
My manager
right now.
was 450 pounds, big dude.
Ooh.
So it was like, my ex-manager, my old manager. Well, no bad blood, whatever, it's cool. But yeah, that man liked to eat for sure.
Man, shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to that man.
So Rez, I gotta ask you this.
You're good.
What's up with you and Dax?
I'll touch on it for real. So like, if you can't tell already, based on our interaction and my energies, like I don't even dislike that man, bro. Like it's so rare for me to dislike somebody. I might not like you in the moment or in a scenario or for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? I might, with that adrenaline, that ego, all that shit running, pissing contest type of shit. Like we might have that as men, but it's like in the moment, bro, like, I do what I do, but I save that one hand of 5 people that the energy, I save that bad energy for a certain amount of people. Like, so I can't even wait. I can't even like, I don't know, man. Like between me and him, like it was just one of those things that backtracking on what we talked about pretty much the whole time is just like when you just sniff shit that just doesn't sit right. It just looks wrong. It just looks off. But just how people move and what people say and, like not like I'm checking people, we talked about, but just, I've been doing this for so long and loving what I do. And it's not even, people will chalk it up as he got bigger numbers or you jealous or you this or you that. But at the end of the day, man, it's just like I love music and I love hip hop so much. And this is all I know and all I live and breathe and eat. And like I said, like I was with Sean Price before he passed. Like I feel affected by these things. Mac, XXX, Mac, like I'm willing to live, die over this shit. I've seen people live and die over this shit. You know what I mean? Whether it's on some hood shit or just on some love of the game or losing their life to addiction or anything. So, and I chalk that up to entertainment and Hollywood and music and that balancing act that we talk about. So like for me to, feel that, I sniff out when people don't feel it. You know what I mean? So, and
I mean, did it happen prior to the freestyle or was like
before I rap some shit. So, I don't know where it first started because we would talk for a minute, man. We would talk on FaceTime. It goes back to the point where we knew each other in person for a minute. We've had some interactions. Way back, he would send me videos of him listening to my music when he was cleaning tables and shit. And like I never was like bet. Good
on
looks.
Some weird shit,
I'm always me, how we talk. I'm always like, yo, good looks, man. Thank you so much. Whenever you get out here, let's connect, let's politic, let's build, let's, I want to help people. I'm not even looking to come up on you. I'm not looking for a come up. I want to help people someone said a quote, something along the lines of like, when you see how someone could be rather than how they are, because you know they have that potential. You know what I mean? So like even with my brother, I have a certain iffy relationship with my blood brother, and we could talk on that too. But it's like, you know, I see my issue is seeing people in a light that they're not standing in, like how they could act, and that was that scenario, man. And it only came down to he said my name on a record. Literally said my name.
Yeah.
And it just said something like, and he said a name of a few of my YouTube homies, and it was one of those things where it's like, I'm not gonna respond because this is not a record. But then it was like, okay, like if somebody feels like they have the whatever it is, if they feel like they have the power or the masculinity or just like that something that they feel that I'm not gonna respond by saying, you know what I mean? I started balancing, like, do you feel like you can say my name comfortably? Do you know what I mean? Like speak on my name
without having any repercussions.
Without you know what I mean? Like I do that. Like once again, I'm not on some third. Like I'm not sending people at your door. You know what I mean? That's not me. Like obviously time and place maybe, but it's like that's not my style. That's not my shit. So, but I'll take it out on record, bro. And it's like, and if you think you're not gonna at least get a crazy ass record by speaking on my shit, it's like, what does that say about me to me, not to anybody else?
At the end of the day, bro, like you are so deeply rooted into hip hop.
Nah, that's
you know
how
what
I feel,
like,
man. And when I see somebody, you know, who I don't feel comes from those same roots. You know, when people talk about cultural appropriation, right? And they instantly look at, and obviously it's always gonna be the white kid doing this or the white girl wearing the Asian dress on Instagram. You know what I mean? I just botched it. It's probably not kimono. I don't remember what she was wearing. Kimono. Yeah. But my point is, it's always gonna look at it like that. But I genuinely believe that, you know, it's obviously not a cultural appropriation, but I do see people, you know, black, white, Asian, whatever, just moving in a certain way that it doesn't look right. I feel like I'm moving in such a way. I don't want to say the wrong thing in a PC world. I feel like I'm moving in such a way that just makes more sense, like historically, than someone like him. Do you know what I mean? Like, regardless of how I look, regardless of what I say or my words, it's the shit I've seen, the shit I've been around, the people I've been around, the shit I've done, the shit I've lost, the shit I've gained, and it's like, regardless of my, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like, it goes back to, I mean, this is kind of just a reflection of our entire situation. Like, you go through enough experiences to kind of figure out, like, where you're at in life. And, like, you know, you get a better understanding of things that it doesn't matter, like, if you're white, if you're black, if you're Asian.
Yep, it's facts, man. But, I mean, all that, I want to end that specific conversation with, I genuinely, there's no bad blood. There was no bad blood 10 minutes after I dropped that record. Do you know what I mean? After I dropped the response to him. Or this response, whatever you want to call it. Like, I did what I did. I felt like I had to do it for me. I felt like I had to do it for my fans that were literally, the amount of people that were in my DMs, like, yo, you gonna answer this, you gonna answer this, you gonna answer this. Not even like, you a bitch. My fans are not like that. They're just like, hey, man, do you have, because if I didn't respond, all my fans would have been like, he's too good for that. So my fans rock with me. They ride for me. But, man, like, literally the second I put that shit out, it was done. I threw it out of my head. Like, it's like, it was just a quick little, like a little pissing contest, for real. Like, that's it.
And no conversations afterwards between you two?
Nah, man, I considered reaching out and just literally saying what we're talking about, where it's like, hey, bro, like, I don't have any issue, any bad blood, any bullshit, but I don't see anyone gaining from that. Like, I wish there would. I wish he would grow from it, and I feel like I grew from it, clearly, or I never was in a position to, maybe I already, you know what I mean, before I even dropped it, maybe I was already there. But it's like, if I don't see someone else benefiting from the situation, like, then it's like, why am I even gonna waste my energy and breath? Like, you know, but if he watches this shit, there you go, man. We good. It's all love. I don't beef with people. I don't have bad blood with people unless you really fucking up my money or my personal life. That's it. Like, any beyond that, nah. So,
well, we're gonna close that book. Thank you, man.
We are.
Thank you.
Facts, facts.
Only for the fans, and this is probably the last string of questions that I'm gonna ask you, bro. Man, but like, where do you get the inspiration behind having your fans, you know, helping you create your merchandise, your project? Because that, I tried to pinpoint it to certain places, and I just can't think of like where you really got it from.
I'll give you the exact thing. So, having transitioned from not knowing who I am, what I want to be, what I want to do, I was sitting down, me, my homie Emilio Rojas, and my girlfriend, and we're just sitting down, like, writing names and concepts and ideas, and, like, Emilio's like, yo, what's your brand in 3 words? And I'm like, bro, like, I felt like I was in school. Like, I felt like I was like, bro, shut up.
Can
like,
we just have wine and
like,
food
literally,
again?
Like, I was like, come on, dog. Like, I'm sitting there with a yellow pad. He's in my house. He was staying with me for a minute after we were toured, like, years back, and he's just writing, like, he's like, nerd. Video games, like, but it made sense, you know. He was trying to help me out. He's writing all this bullshit down, and like him and my girlfriend going back and forth. I'm going back and forth. I'm just like fucking like annoyed on the couch, like on some therapy session shit. And then it got to the point where we didn't force anything, and you know, she actually reminded me, like, there was years and years, right, where people would tell me, hey, man, your music saved me from killing myself. Hey, man, your music gives me inspiration. Hey, man, your music, that people send me, it's crazy how often this has happened, which is like, maybe I should stop making sure, like, maybe I'm a bad luck, but it's like I've literally seen 5 to 10 fans that have totaled their cars. I'm talking about the nastiest wrecks you've ever seen. They're like, yo, I was listening to, I'm talking about Doors Off, Jaws of Life, and like, yo, I was listening to your music. I'm like, damn, like, I don't even have, like, first of all, shout out to everybody who...
Can you just listen to my music like in
safely,
a room
bro,
or something?
Just safely, man. Because I've had a couple fans die in a car accident, man. Rest in peace. There was the homie Devin, man. I think he was out of Maine or out of Vermont or somewhere out of there.
Rest in peace.
But he showed love to me. A bunch of his homies and friends and family show me love when I'm out there, and they still tweet me, you know, on the anniversary and stuff. Like, you know those core fans.
Yeah.
But in those moments when all those crazy things were happening, man, like, I wasn't able to rationalize anything. Like, when someone said any of those things to me, I always wrote back, thank you, but I didn't feel it. I didn't feel grateful. I didn't feel any sort of gratitude when I said any of those things. Not that I was, like, better than it. I just wasn't, as a person, I wasn't able to wrap my head around anybody giving a fuck about me. Do you know what I mean? Like, like to the degree of that. Like, not that, like, my family showed me, I got a great family. Like, I have love. Like, I grew up with love. So it's not like I grew up like in a certain environment that, you know, maybe we could backtrack it to that. But it's like, you know, fast forward to maybe 2 years ago. I'm fast forwarding from the past.
You know, back.
I'm fast forwarding because I was way back.
Back to the future.
Back to the fucking. In my head, I was 4 years ago. So I'm like, okay, fast forward 2 more. Then fast forward, we're back. All right. So fast forward back to the past. Fucking, my girl, literally, she just, you know, she kind of she tapped me into like, reminding me, like, look at all these people. She just was drilling into my head. Look at all these people who love you. Look at this message that because she'll check on my shit every so often. Not on some like, who are you messaging?
Yeah.
Just like, look at these amazing messages. Look at this person. Look at that person. Look at this email you got. And like, after a while, bro, I think I faked it in a good way. I think I faked my appreciation for so long that I couldn't fake it anymore. And I started really appreciating shit. Do you know what I mean? Like not, I wasn't faking it. I just didn't know where I wasn't anything. Like I told you, I was just here. I wasn't doing it. I was showing my gratitude verbally and publicly and in person, everything and written and all that. But nowhere in my soul did I feel grateful at all. Do you know what I mean? But fast forward to, you know, now to you. Fucking, I don't know, man.
I'm over here like playing that.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? But man, yeah, that's what it is, bro. It's just like, you know, I said it in one of my newest records. Like, she reminded me of all the blessings I had. I was having, you know, I avoid everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why she a real one for sure. But it's like, I got to the point now, man, where like when somebody tells me some shit, and every so often, like if I'm having a bad day or if I'm just busy or I'm just in my own feelings, like I will still go back to like, thank you so much, and I don't feel it. You know what I mean? Like I'm a human, bro. Like I can't be grateful for every message that I get all the time.
Yeah, and you know, you get like millions of messages
and
every day.
I get a lot, so it's hard for me to sit down, you know, meditate on it, breathe, think, and like rap. You know, I'm not gonna do all that. I can't. But I always will go back and reflect on something. If I didn't appreciate it in the moment, now at least I'll be like, damn, I appreciate that shit. You know what I mean?
I get you. So it's kind of like for those moments in which like I feel like you're kind of like, for lack of a better term, like compensating for like, you know, when you are busy and you know you just do a quick response like thank you. This is like the legitimate like, yo, like a legitimate thank you.
Exactly. I know I feel this way deep in my heart. I might not feel it in this present, literally, and now by present moment, I mean this 5 minutes. Whereas years ago, it was for years. I didn't know how to appreciate things, bro, because I wasn't given things ever. I never was given things. So it's like, you know, and I had to work for shit and lose shit and gain shit. I didn't know where my ideology sat in any sense, like my spirit. I didn't know where anything sat. Like I didn't know where I belonged. So it's like when people did bad things to me, I probably was rocking with them more than people that were doing good shit for me. You know what I mean? Now it's a flip. I don't, you know.
You're rocking with everybody, bro.
I'm rocking with everybody, man. Good or bad energy. If you throwing me off, I'm using that. I'm using that shit. I'm using the bad energy. So,
man, Hi-Rez.
My dog, man.
Thank you for coming, bro. This was
so much.
One of my most favorite podcasts.
Thank you, man.
And it's because like I feel the genuinity coming out of you, and I hope that everybody who watches this, if you made it through the first, hour and 15 minutes, you dig, that they also feel that genuinity from you.
Hey, get me some room temperature water, but no, cameras turn off, man. Yo, was this shit off? All right,
yeah.
Fuck
this
shit.
Hey, bro, like cut like half the interview.
Yeah, bro, fuck this shit. Hit up my people. We'll figure out what. Nah, man. Nah, but I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, bro. For real, for real.
Hi-Rez, the album out right now, only for the fans. Where can everybody find you in the project?
Onlyforthefans.com. I have that domain. Not to be confused with OnlyFans. I am not a porn star. Onlyforthefans.com. Onlyforthefans.
If you know what he's talking about,
then you know what I'm talking about. Onlyforthefans.com, man. YouTube, of course. I'm at 960,000 subscribers. I'm going up 3, 4, 5 a day, K right now. So hit me up, man. That's my subtle flex. We need to hit it,
plaque.
man.
We
gonna hit that million plaque, bro. You know how people be eating off platinum plaques and doing wild. Like I saw Lil Pump like peed on a platinum plaque or some shit like that. I'm not gonna be peeing on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be doing great. I'm gonna be like doing dope ass shit. I'm gonna take it on a date. I'm gonna do dope shit. I'm gonna go on a full on date with my platinum plaque and shit.
You ever watch that SpongeBob episode where he's like dating a block?
I'm sure, bro. It's an OG episode. It's not.
Man, I wish you would have just said yes, bro.
Bro,
that's one of those moments
when he
where
was
you just,
dating
like,
a block.
Yeah.
I feel so
They were,
upset
like,
right now.
Sculpting.
I feel so upset, man, because I know every SpongeBob episode. I know every bro. I am what I am. I'm a Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Boomerang type of kid. You know what I mean? That's my shit.
That.
Yeah, I am that, bro. I am that.
Shout out to that rap video where you were referencing like Courage the Cowardly Dog and all that, man.
When you rapping, it sound like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Straight bars, man. Only for the fans. The album
YouTube,
is out
Facebook,
right now.
Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you stream your music, it exists, yo. So it's there. I have a music video on Pornhub too, from way back. Check that out. It's a real thing.
All right, well. As long as you're 18 and up.
As long as you're 18
this is the
plus,
lunch
man.
table. Food for thought.
I'm getting your shit demonetized.
Hey, man, look. Nico Blitz, the lunch table. Hi-Rez. We are out, everybody.
My dog.
Yay.